Hi, my name is Eunice Feller. Welcome to Bread and Chocolate here in Newton, Massachusetts. And today we're going to be making whoopie pies, those cute little, black and white cookie cake filled with really sweet buttercream, homemade buttercream. You've seen them in convenience stores, driving around New England, and they're the size of your fist. Today we're going to make little mini ones, little bite-sized morsels. I think they're very cute. Real simple recipe, real quick. We're going to start with 1 cup of a light brown sugar packed, and that goes into your mixing bowl. And 4 ounces of butter at room temperature. And we're going to give that a good beating for a couple minutes to get everything together. And while that's going, we're going to take our dry ingredients and sift them together. So we have 1 cup and 3/4 of AP flour, all-purpose flour. We have 1 teaspoon of salt and 1 teaspoon of baking powder. And it's going to go in there. And I'm using a Dutch cocoa. I like the darker color that it provides, and it also gives you a milder chocolate flavor. So I have 1/2 cup of Dutch cocoa and a 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, because I think cinnamon and chocolate does really nice things together. So we're going to sift that together, get all the clumps out. Okay, this is why we sift, because you don't want that in your batter. Now to your butter and sugar, we're going to add 1 large egg and a teaspoon of vanilla. And just going to mix it until everything comes together. Now that everything is nice and fluffy, come together, we're going to add our dry ingredients and our wet ingredients, which is 1 cup of milk. You could use whole milk or skim milk. And we're going to add in 3 parts. So 3 parts of dry, and in between we're going to add our wet. A little bit of the dry, give it a little go. Add 1/2 of your milk. A little more dry. Now, if you don't have Dutch cocoa at home, and you have your, probably the most popular brand that you could buy in a supermarket is Hershey cocoa. If you have Hershey, you could actually put Hershey cocoa in here, but you want to change your leavening to baking soda instead of baking powder, and that would actually help the leavening because your regular cocoa is acidic. But you'll see the cakes will look very different. Alrighty, and the last of the dry ingredients. And at this point, I like to just give everything a good scrape down so you know that everything from the bottom has come up and everything's mixed well. So we're getting a really nice dark batter. Okay, now everything has come together real quick and easy. And we're going to portion it out onto our sheet pans. Now, we have our oven going at 350. It's going to bake for a very short time. It takes a very short time to put this batter together, so get your oven going. And I have a lined sheet pan. Now, you can make your whoopie pie as big as you like, but I like little mini ones. I actually like for them to look like little golf balls when they're done. You could scoop them out, portion the batter out with little ice cream scoops, or you could use a pastry bag with a wide tip. I actually prefer the pastry bag, so I'll show you both methods. So with a ice cream scoop, you just want to make sure that you have nice even scoops so your cakes come out even. So just take it up the side, make it a flat scoop, and just put it down. Okay, we'll start this end. And because I like really high domey cakes, I actually tend to pipe really high. So with this recipe, you'll probably get about, depending on how large your pipe or scoop, you'll get about 18 to 25 finished whoopie pies. And this recipe could be easily cut in half or doubled, depending on how many whoopie pies you want. So we're going to put this into our oven, 350 degrees for about 8 minutes. You don't want to overcook your cake. And like all chocolate cakes, you could make them a day in advance because they taste better the day after. Okay, while our whoopie pie cakes are baking in the oven, we can make our old-fashioned buttercream. Old-fashioned buttercream, butter, sugar, a little vanilla. If you like your buttercream to be a little less stiff, you could add a little milk to thin it down. Considering it's a warm day, the butter's really soft, so I don't think we're going to need that. So in this bowl, I have 1 pound of butter at room temperature. I'm going to give that a quick beat, get that all loosened up. And to that, we're going to add 1 tablespoon of vanilla. You could add more. And very slowly, because you don't want powdered sugar over your kitchen. With your beater on a very low speed, we're going to add about 2 cups of powdered sugar. You could add a little less, you could add a little more. This buttercream tend to be not so sweet. A lot of the recipes out there call for almost double the sugar. If you like that super sweet buttercream, as my husband does, you could do that, but I prefer a little less sweet. So just a little bit at a time into the bowl until all the sugar is in. So real quick buttercream, nice and creamy yellow from the butter. And it'll be nice and sweet. And because we're using powdered sugar and not granulated sugar, it's going to be a lot smoother. And all we're waiting for is the cakes to come out of the oven, and we'll finish them up. All right, our cakes are out of the oven. They're almost cool. As you can see, actually, if you look really close, these are the scooped ones. So they're not as perfectly round as if we piped them, but they're still good for eating. The piped ones, because I don't have superhuman eye-hand coordination, there's slight variations in sizes, and all you have to do is kind of match them up so you get nice, even-looking cakes. So we're going to fill these. So just flip one side over. Now, ideally, like I said before, you wanted to have made these cakes the day before so they get a chance to rest and the chocolate flavor gets to mellow out. It'll taste much better. I'm looking at my buttercream, and it looks like it needs a little bit of milk. It needs to be thinned out, so I'm going to add a little bit of milk. And you could, to this recipe, you could add up to about 2 ounces. together. Give them a little squeeze. Your big whoopie pies and your little whoopie pies. There you go.